It is for the Friday. It's the Monday Friday ever, but it is a Friday. So we got Tanya in the house to talk movies. If you hadn't had a chance to get out to see one over the holiday weekend, there's still plenty of time coming up this weekend. So what we got?
This is definitely the weekend because we're going to have some rain. It's either going to be super hot or raining. So go inside if you can. But so Despicable Me 4 Mega Minions is out, and I got to see it Wednesday, whenever that was.
Too. We should have coordinated.
Yeah, I know. I saw your picture, and I was like, "Oh, yay! I'm glad you got to see it." But it's another one in this series. If you like the whole genre, you're going to love this one.
It's adorable.
It is, and I cannot get enough of the Minions. I love Gru. I love the villains. I mean, it's just such fun characters that I was happy to see this next part of their life, kind of unfold. And I don't want to spoil anything, but if you've seen them all, you're really going to love the ending. It's a nice little, I guess, a little love letter to the fans of the movies. But so in this one, we see Gru go to his high school reunion, and there he meets his nemesis. And this guy, they were jealous of each other in high school. The guy played by Will Ferrell has it out for Gru because in the talent show, he sang the song that this guy wanted to sing. Maxime is his name, was going to sing. And so they've just always had this rivalry. And he unveils a new invention at the class reunion, and through the actions of Gru and his position with the AVL, something villains society or whatever.
Police.
The police. He has him arrested, and so the guy's out for revenge. He and his wife or partner, who is also a villain, and anyway, Gru and his family, long story short, have to go into hiding so that they can...
Which is hard to do.
Yes, they protect themselves from this guy. But little do they know they're moving in next door to a villain wannabe, and so she knows exactly who Gru is and uses that information to make him pull off a heist with her. And there's all kinds of other little subplots going on. We have a baby. Gru finally has a little boy, and it's just so fun. And the animation is so good. And I love those little girls that he adopted. I mean, they're so cute and so sweet. And I thought it had a lot of good messages. The end, there is a little bit of animation once the credits start rolling. Well, right immediately at the end, there is a scene that you'll want to make sure you stick around for. But then once the credits start rolling, it's just animation. So it's fun to watch, and I definitely would stay and watch it. But if you've got to go, you're not going to miss anything.
Yeah, I totally agree. It held my 4-year-old's attention for the whole thing, which is like, that rarely. Mario, I think, was the only other one that in the theater held her attention. And then me and my husband laughed out loud. And, got it. So, I mean, it's I would say for the whole family, it's a good one.
I think so too. And, I think that it's, I don't know if, I feel like they may have wrapped it up. I could be wrong. I mean, because there's 4 of these movies. You've got all the Minion movies. The Minions have like over a dozen short films that have been spread throughout different movies and other events. So I don't know what's next for them, but I felt like the ending in this one could have been saying goodbye to the series, but I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see how much money it makes.
Yes, and speaking of, it did very well yesterday, and it brought in $27 million. The question is it going to beat Inside Out 2? I think it will this weekend, but I don't know if it's going to beat its overall number. And Inside Out 2 did great yesterday. It brought in over $7 million. A Quiet Place, $4 million. Sadly, Horizon, the Kevin Costner movie that we were concerned about, only brought in $1 million.
That's it? Oh, sorry.
That's it. And I'm thinking
like
that Independence Day, that was his shot at the big bucks, and it didn't happen. So they said that they're still on track to release the second one next month. And the third movie is in production right now. They're filming it. So
it will probably go straight.
See.
I would see it probably end up going straight to streaming.
It could. But you never know. Maybe it'll get a second wind. I mean, I don't know.
I feel bad.
Well, Costner has come out and said that
I want the man to make his money back.
He's got a lot of belief in the streaming popularity of it and people buying it to have a physical copy once it's all released. He still has faith in this project. He hasn't given up on it just because the
so there's still other ways for it to make money.
Yeah. So, but
I just need the man to make his money back. I don't need him to, but I just feel like
I did find out he wasn't the sole investor. It's not all just his money. So at least he's not alone. But he's. I mean, it's a lot of money of his. But yeah, I was kind of sad when I saw that. But yeah,
has anybody seen it? Let us know. C-Spire text line 601-879-4395. Did you like it? Were you the 1 in 10 that went to go see it?
And also new this week, this one is definitely for the adults, but Beverly Hills Cop Axel F is out. It's streaming on Prime. So this is a new release that you can watch at home. And it's, your favorite Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop. From the I want to say it was maybe even the 80s or 90s when it had to have been the 80s.
84 was the first one.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought the last one was in the 90s, but anyway, we find Eddie Murphy's character Axel is a detective in Detroit, doing his thing. He's just smarter than everybody else around him, And he, it starts off, you see him at a hockey game, and he's figuring out that, there's a robbery going on. And, of course, being himself and a little bit older than the last time we saw him, although he looks the same to me, he's just not moving quite as fast. He is able to blow the lid off of this heist, get the bad guys, and you quickly find out where he's at today, and he's got a strained relationship with his daughter. He's divorced, and he gets called back to Beverly Hills because his daughter actually lives in that area and is a lawyer and is working on a case, and she's threatened because of her involvement in this case, and so he has to go to Beverly Hills to help her.
Gotcha. And was this one that was supposed to come out in theater, and then they made it?
I'm not sure what actually wound up making them do streaming only, except for this is one of those that kept getting delayed for. First of all, I mean, really, this was supposed to be out years, like probably 20 years ago. So
wow,
yeah,
it's not like delay. It's not like, I thought you were going to say 2020, which would have made sense.
Yeah. Well, the biggest holdup was script. It's like they would get everybody in place, and then they couldn't agree on the script, so they would go back to the drawing board. But 2020 was one of the many delays.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so you've got Eddie Murphy is back. They've added Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who is of course great. Kevin Bacon is in it and I'm not giving away anything because it's so obvious when you first meet him, he's on the wrong side of the law. And then Judge Reinhold is back, Paul Reiser, Bronson Pinchot. So a lot of our favorite characters from the first one. Yes, Serge is back. So it's fun. It's not as good as the first one. And honestly, I know I saw number 2, number 3, but I just don't remember much about them. But I remember how everybody saw the first one. I mean, and it doesn't quite have the same magic as those earlier movies, but I can watch Eddie Murphy just sit there and read the phone book.
So it would be a good
funny.
Streaming. It would be a good
I think the decision to stream it was a good one for them. And it is rated R for the action and everything and language, but it's not quite as bad as some of those earlier versions.
Gotcha. Also, Eddie Murphy, he has children ranging from 34 to 5. There's 10 of them.
Oh, wow.
Like in real life. I was like, so he's been busy. All right, stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.